Good day, and welcome to the Lilly Roddy Show, coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas. Always so glad to have you join me so I can share some of my astrological information with you and hopefully make your day a little bit easier to understand. This week, Mercury goes retrograde, stationary retrograde on the 11th, but it'll take a few days for it to get back up to speed so we can start new projects and buy our electrical devices. Mercury should be back up to speed by the 17th. We also have a lot of long void of course moons this month. We have an especially long one on the 9th and a fairly long one on the 12th. The best way to respond to void of course moons is to simply go with the flow. If you would like to get in touch with me for a personal session, you can always reach me at Lillyroddyshow@AOL.com or Lillyroddyshow.com. And as always, you can find us on Twitter or Facebook. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the end of the show. Let's look at next week's forecast. Sunday, February the 8th. The moon transits diplomatic in urbane Libra for the entire day. The moon opposes Uranus at 4:13 p.m. We are definitely needing some space and freedom for ourselves in this late afternoon. Try and put yourself in situations where you have options to respond. Do something out of the norm, otherwise you may feel bored. The moon squares Pluto at 6:01 p.m. We're taking a hard look at our relationships under this influence. We want people to understand where we're coming from, and we're fully capable of explaining every detail we might need. This long-term safety and security of our relationship is very important. This is an excellent time to get at our core aspects and problems within our relationship. And as always, this is an excellent time for therapy. The moon sextiles Jupiter at 11:45 p.m. Our mood is greatly lightened in the latter part of the evening. We'll be more inclined to do what satisfies our creature comforts. If you're up late, this is a great time to be out with your friends. Monday, February the 9th. The moon resides in relationship-conscious Libra for the entire day. However, she does become void of course in Libra, as most of us start our day at 5:58 a.m. and remain so throughout the remainder of the day. Our first and only aspect is the moon trines Saturn at 5:58 a.m. We are certainly feeling upbeat and energetic this morning. If you have, if you have to meet for an early business meeting, these energies will help make things work out more smoothly. It's also a great morning for a workout as long as you're not alone. Well, now the moon is void of course in Libra at 5:58 a.m. for the rest of the day. We move out of this void of course moon on Tuesday morning. And as I said earlier, we're having several long void of course moons this month of February. A void moon means that we're operating from more of our emotional basis rather than our intellectual basis. We can be busy and successful during void of course moons as long as we can understand where our motivations are coming from. People that connect to their emotions more easily may do well with void of course moons, while people that are more intellectual in their approach may have some inner conflicts between these two sides of yourself. And personally, I find the more flexible you are during the void of course moon, we all seem to navigate the waters more easily. This marks the beginning of a very long void of course moon time frame, 19 hours. Tuesday, February the 10th. The moon begins the day void of course in Libra, but she quickly enters emotional and intuitive Scorpio at 1:05 a.m. The moon squares Mercury at 3:50 a.m. If you're awake, this is an excellent time for cleaning up things, reorganizing, or considering all the twists and turns in a mystery story. Otherwise, it may be just hard to sleep. The moon trines Neptune at 2:15 p.m. We're feeling much more imaginative and creative this afternoon. This can be a great time for an artist to work on anything that they're working on, work on marketing strategies, or even attending a yoga class. We'll all want to get away from our routines in the afternoon with moon trine Neptune. Wednesday, February the 11th. The moon journeys through determined and obsessive Scorpio for the entire day. She does become void, of course, but late in the evening at 11:32 p.m. The moon sextiles Pluto at 5:29 a.m. If you're up early this morning, this is a good time to be getting prepared for your day. We really want to make the best use of our time this morning. Mercury turns stationary direct at 8:57 a.m. This is the point in the Mercury retrograde cycle where Mercury stops and slowly begins her forward motion once more. We will still feel the Mercury retrograde influences through February the 18th. So continue to complete those projects you already have in progress and don't sign any contracts, start any new projects, or make any big purchases until after the 18th. Mercury retrograde antics could be really bad on this particular day. The moon squares Jupiter at 10:12 a.m. We might be feeling a little restless and bored by mid-morning. This would be a great time to catch up on all of the gossip at the water cooler. Try and work with large concepts during this time and avoid the details. The moon trines Venus at 1:49 p.m. This combination of energies really improves our relationship connections. This can be a good time to be with your partner or a time entertaining your clients and hoping to close a business deal. Our physical and emotional needs are strong during this time. The moon squares the sun at 9:50 p.m. We get a burst of energy in the latter part of the evening. This can be a good time to get out with friends or groups or to attend a lecture on a topic you enjoy. Just make sure you keep your options open. The moon trines Mars at 11:32 p.m. We're feeling very positive and self-assured as these two planets meet. This can be a romantic evening for two or doing some online gaming. Basically, we just want to have fun. The moon is now void, of course, in Scorpio at 11:32 p.m. and will remain so until she enters Sagittarius at 10:46 a.m. on Thursday morning. Thursday, February the 12th. The moon begins the day, void of course in Scorpio, but she will enter honest and straightforward Sagittarius by mid-morning at 10:46 a.m. and of course will no longer be void of course. Try and plan your more important activities after that time, 10:46 a.m. The moon sextiles Mercury at 1:20 p.m. Words slip right off our tongue this afternoon as we seem to be able to say and do just the right thing. From a work point of view, this is a great time to be contacting your existing clients and renewing those relationships. It's also a great time for any type of organizing, sorting out old files, or just cleaning the house. In the early evening, the moon conjuncts Saturn at 6:32 p.m. When these two planets combine, our mood tends to be melancholy and even depressive. We're all extra sensitive to criticism during this time, so be careful of the company you keep. We often want to prepare for the worst possibilities when these two planets connect. So it's great actually for doing exactly that thing. The moon squares Neptune at 11:16 p.m. Hopefully you'll be sleeping when this aspect occurs. We tend to want to be alone and isolated with this aspect. A great way to respond to this would be with a wonderful glass of wine and off to bed. Friday, February the 13th, the moon transits optimistic and freedom-loving Sagittarius for the entire day. The moon trines Uranus at 11:54 a.m. We are feeling optimistic about our day. We are more open-minded, so this is a great time to do any type of presentation for work or for education. Group activities tend to be more positive when these planets combine. The moon trines Jupiter at 5:07 p.m. We continue to keep our day light and active through this afternoon. We can get things done more easily since this planetary combination oils all the gears. We may not be so motivated as usual, but we may not have to work as hard. Focus more on the tasks that you really like to do. Saturday, February the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. The moon starts the day in Sag and becomes void, of course, in Sag at 9:15 a.m. She will remain so until she enters practical and prudent Capricorn at 4:24 p.m. In the early morning, the moon squares Venus at 10:31 a.m. If you're up late, this is a perfect time for a piece of pie. And it's a lot better if you have someone to share your pie with. The moon sextiles the sun at 8:46 a.m. We're starting our day with our agenda in hand, trying to make sure that everything is perfect. If you have work to do, this is a great time to meet with coworkers or clients. Not much later, the moon squares Mars at 9:15 a.m. We're a bit more antsy by mid-morning. Essentially, this is a good time for a run, a workout at the gym, or taking on a new project. This is not a good time for patience or dealing with details. We are much more edgy and a bit defensive. The moon is now void, of course, in Sag at 9:15 a.m. Stick to your agenda and your day will go just fine. The moon enters Capricorn at 4:24 p.m. and is no longer void, of course. We are feeling more productive in the afternoon. Important meetings and events should be scheduled after this time, especially those Valentine's Day dinners. Well, that's our look at what's going on for next week, February the 8th through the 14th. Things don't look too bad, and Mercury is finally coming out of retrograde. Please join us next week as we look at February the 15th through the 21st. This is the Lilly Roddy Show coming to you from the LRS studios here in Houston, Texas, reminding you to keep those stars in your eyes. Bye-bye.